In every age, in every place, the deeds of men remain the same. That's how this series starts. It sets the tone of the show um, because it's about human conflict, about how war has shaped history and continues to do so. I watched the first two movies and I completed episode 6 yesterday. And here I will share some of my thoughts from this experience I've had. Just for context, this is the war between uh, two governments. The Galactic Empire can be considered like a noble autocracy, kind of like Prussia, very inspired from Prussia, and the Free Planets Alliance, which is a democracy, although quite corrupt, as we will see. Kind of like this American liberalism thing. And they've been going at war for about 150 years. We've also been introduced to our two main characters, who is Reinhard von Lohengram of the Galactic Empire and young Van Lee of the Free Planets Alliance. And as you can hear, the Galactic Empire, um, it's inspired by Prussia in its aesthetics. It's kind of this noble autocracy with an emperor, and the Free Planets Alliance is a democracy, kind of inspired by American capitalistic liberalism, but it's very corrupt, as we shall see. Um, what I found interesting about these two main characters is how polar opposite they are. Reinhardt is driven by ambition. He's super ambitious. He's quote unquote reaching for the stars. Um, and young Van Lee, he's more of the reluctant hero. He kind of gets pulled into this leadership role because he's a brilliant tactician, and he wants to save lives and um, end the war peacefully. He really wants to be a history teacher. Um, to further explain Reinhardt, because we have to mention his right hand man, Kirja, is his best friend, and because he's so important for him, because he keeps Reinhardt grounded. Um, Anna Rose is the sister of Reinhardt, and she tells Kirchais when they are kids that he should look after him and take care of him. And for Kirchais, this is his motivation to always follow him. And when they get older, Anna Rose tells him that Reinhardt, he's reaching for the stars so he can get lost because he's stretching so far, and Kirchais is the one keeping him grounded. Like he has to watch, remind Reinhardt of what's in front of his feet. I also think it's because Anaros sees that Reinhardt's ambition can lead to, this is me guessing, kind of a cruel dictator. I can get that vibe, and Kirchais is the one like keeping him in the reels. Like, yeah, he's his. You can say he's kind of the angel on his shoulder in some sense. At least that's my initial impression. But what's so interesting about these main characters, Reinhardt and Yang Wen Li, is they are also kind of the same. Because they both neither of them really likes how their society is actually run. For example, Reinhardt, he goes to a gala, um, and he's watching all these no high nobility are just dancing and having fun. And why are they dancing, having fun when there's a war going on? Why can they hide and just live their everyday life in luxury? And so that also drives his ambition. He wants to change that. And like I mentioned, his sister too, she was kind of sold to the emperor. Not that her father had any choice. So Reinhard wants to rise through the military to get the power to grant freedom to his sister, and yeah, just further accelerate his ambition. And he finds out kind of that power leads to freedom. We also have young Wen Li, um, because he sees the corruption in the lines. He's like a super he, the leader of the Lions after a battle they really lost. But he speaks of the battle as, oh, they won, and so many soldiers gave patriotically up their lives. And he have this big speech that young Van Lee sees right through, and I will come back to a certain point in that kind of speech, because you have this kind of important character in the start. It's Weng Li's friend and his fiancée Jessica, because Weng Li's friend, he dies in that battle, and Jessica comes to confront the leader of the Lions while he's giving this patriotic speech. Um, and she gets pulled away, and later some, I think it's like a paramilitaristic group that's super nationalistic. So if you speak against the leadership, they will come and get you, and they are secretly being controlled by the alliance leader. And Wen Li knows this, so he comes to her rescue. But it just brilliantly shows that even though the alliance is kind of some sense framed as the good guys, since they are the democratic side, um, there's a lot of corruption going on there. It's not. Uh, let's say that the two sides are framed in a very nuanced way, and I think that's very important for the story going forward. I also want to quickly mention that in I think it was in episode 6, there was a rebellion in the Galactic Empire where they were kind of dressed like Romans, Roman nobles, uh, and when they have practically lost, the leader also sacrificed everyone to save himself, and he gets stabbed like multiple times by multiple people, just like Caesar. And I just found like the parallels to real history really fascinating, so I just had to mention that. And let's talk about the wives, because it's a space opera, right? And space opera needs like this melodrama, and the music helps with that. You have Beethoven, Mahler, Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and you hear like the music in battle, and then matches the tempo of the battle and the uh, emotions of the commanders, or the admirals who's leading the battle. So if they are on the offensive, if they are on the defensive, or if they have any change of how they feel and how they act, it will be portrayed in the music, and that's so fascinating. And in general, it's like unapologetically dramatic, right? It's like Shakespeare in space almost. You have this scene that I just have to tell you about. It's when this friend of Wen Li dies. He's like holding a picture of his fiance, and it's kind of sad, dramatic music, and and the scene switches over to Jessica at the piano, and a picture that's framed falls down, and it's of a young Van Lee, this dude who's dying, and Jessica, and there's a crack in the glass over this guy's face. So and she starts crying. It's like super theatrical, dramatic, and it just fits the story so well, and I absolutely love it. Like big space operas needs to be melodramatic, in my opinion, and it delivers absolutely. I absolutely can't wait to watch more episodes of this show, and I will continue to give my thoughts. They will be shorter since I'll mostly just cover a couple of episodes at a time, I think. So can't wait to see more.